Air travel is the safest form of transportation across the world. However, like everything, there are dangers to it. Now in the modern day, most of this lies with the airports, which due to a variety of factors, from approach to location, surroundings to runway length, can be rather dangerous. Today we'll be using Microsoft Flight Simulator to look at, in no particular order, the most dangerous airports in the world. From mountaintop runways to international airports, it's certainly going to be an interesting video. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe while we look at some of the most dangerous airports in the world using Flight Simulator 2020. Let's go. Now the tamest airport in the list today is Wellington International Airport, New Zealand's third most busiest airport. Now not only has this airport got a rather small runway for an international airport, the weather and winds surrounding the airport do not help. Although in spite of the short runway and heavy winds, throughout history it has been relatively safe, although in principle it is a very dangerous airport. Winds from the Cook Strait cause a lot of go-arounds and a lot of missed approaches here. It is certainly a rather dangerous airport and the approach is not for the faint-hearted passenger. The runway length just about fits a 787, although it is not used in regular passenger services as it is deemed too unsafe. Therefore, the airport basically serves short hop routes from Australia and Southeast Asian nations. Wellington International Airport here in beautiful New Zealand is by far the most dangerous major international airport in the world, especially seeing as it's one of New Zealand's main airports. With the frequent wind and incredibly short runway, it is not an airport for the faint-hearted. Let's move on to the fourth most dangerous airport in the world in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So right now we're on approach to one of the most extreme airports in the world. It is one of the hardest airports to land at for any aircraft you could possibly think of. Toncontin Airport here in Honduras is certainly one that sends chills down the spine of even the most brave passenger. Now this airport surprisingly does actually handle international traffic. There's quite a few airlines here, from American Airlines to Copa Airlines. This airport doesn't seem too dangerous when we're on approach, but imagine this in inclement weather, it would not be nice. There is an RLS system, I believe, but certainly it is not for the faint-hearted, and pilots do require special training to land at this airport. It's also, of course, surrounded by high-density population areas. You can see with these massive arrays of houses surrounding the airport. As you can see there, it's not an easy airport to land at. A difficult airport to land at in even the clearest of conditions, with its runway surrounded by urban settlements and massive hills and mountains. Imagine this in bad weather, guys. It's certainly not an easy one. No wonder it is one of the world's most extreme airports. Now I'm sure many of you will recognise the airports we've got coming up next. They are world famous because they are so extreme, so dangerous and so unique. This airport is so dangerous, pilots pray before they land here. Barra Airport here in Nepal, you guys know, is certainly a dangerous airport. One of the most, if not the most, extreme airport in the world that can handle aircraft like the A320. Squeezing through the mountains, circling round to land is never going to be easy. Special training is of course required for this airport. The airport is just over this small hill over there. We've got to circle round to land. It is the most difficult approach in the world by far.
Pull up. Pull up. Sink rate.
So as you can see, this airport is so hard to land at, I can't even land there. Doesn't mean much because I'm not a professional, but I do find it really difficult and haven't actually managed to achieve a good landing here. If I were to go through the other runway direction, it may be a bit more feasible, as you can see. Kudos to the pilots that fly into this one and the passengers that are brave enough to land in. This certainly sent chills down my spine when I was attempting my failed landing here. Let's move on to number 2. Located in the heart of the Himalayas, still in Nepal, we've got the world famous Lukla Airport. Probably the most dangerous airport in the world, although this video isn't really put into any particular order because they're all dangerous in their own rights. Now, Lukla Airport is of course very recognisable and famous across the world for its steep runway located literally on the side of a mountain. The area around it is none the least beautiful. Pilots need special training, of course, and naturally only so many aircraft can learn there, and I believe now they have a greater focus on helicopters, seeing as they're more versatile in these kind of conditions. Taking off from the cockpit on days like this is pretty fun, although in real life I wouldn't be doing it personally. People have lost their lives here, which is of course sad, but safety measures have been improved over time. And while it still remains one of the most dangerous airports in the world, it is still a pretty safe airport, especially when you compare it to the past. Let's move on to our final airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, we're on approach to one of the most dangerous airports in the world right now, and it doesn't look dangerous at all because simply you cannot see the airport. Well, what about if I told you the airport was the beach over there? Yes, that's right folks, Barra Airport here in the Outer Hebrides in Scotland is our final airport today, and it sure is pretty dangerous. Now, this airport hasn't actually resulted in any loss of life despite, of course, the nature of the airport. Because for the most part, it's closed. They've only really opened the airport when an aircraft is inbound. And that is, of course, it is a sand landing strip on a beach. It's pretty simple. There's not much here. There is 3 runways from 6 directions. Now, I'll be honest, I chose the toughest approach here because we come right over a big hill. But here we go, landing at Barra Airport. Now, sadly, as you saw, this airport isn't actually in the game in Microsoft Flight Simulator yet. They haven't released it. It's coming with the UK World Update. So this is a freeware airport and there's quite a few bugs, such as the sand being bumpy and, of course, runway issues as well. Barra Airport, located here in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland, is certainly a dangerous airport. With no clear-cut runways, the water and, of course, people on the beach, it is not for the faint-hearted. Although saying that, this is the airport I probably trust the most to fly into, due to its outstanding safety record, and the fact that the airport is generally closed in times of safety being compromised, such as the tide coming in or inclement weather. So there you have it guys, I hope you've enjoyed this fun video taking a look at 5 of the world's most dangerous airports. Tell me which one you're most afraid of to fly in down below, all available to fly on in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Despite the topic, it's been a really fun and interesting video. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't done already. If you want to support the channel, I've got donations via Buy Me a Coffee, or of course you can become a YouTube channel member for exclusive perks, and feel free to check out my Amazon affiliate links down below showing off all my equipment. But from me today, that is all. Bye bye.